every single news media rated the A's to kill the Dodgers. And there was only one position, I think it was shortstop, but it was one position that there was universal the Dodgers had. And what happened? The Dodgers came and kicked the crap out of them, and thus the A's lost. In a corporate environment where you have an owner, a board of directors, management, and representatives, oftentimes there's promotions. So you have the representatives all trying to get a management job. So you have all these people down here trying to get one job. So one person gets the job, and what happens to all these other representatives? Winner, losers. So they're starting to teach these kids in middle school that everyone's a winner. Let me ask you this. Tell that if you took a scouting coach for Notre Dame University looking at a running back, if the football team lost every game, but the running back was running 80 yards a game or 100 yards a game, almost guarantee you the agent or the recruiter won't offer anything to that running back because the question of teamwork comes to play because the team gets its ass kicked. It's a team effort. You have to work together to win. The recruiter wants to see teamwork. If all he sees is one guy pulling his weight, they probably don't want that. And they'll probably just say, we'll get someone else. No big deal. And it's not just him, it's a whole bunch of them. That's just one example. So I don't understand this, administrations. If you're in middle school, you start telling these kids that everyone's a winner. Then in high school, when they start getting closer to colleges and trying to get into colleges, and it almost becomes a game to see what kind of colleges you can get into based on your grades, don't you think that is a competition and there's a winner and a loser? So basically, you've been lying to these kids. And I hope young people see this for what it is. Because the administration is lying to you. Two major sins. The first sin is they're only interested in protecting themselves in a $100 million lawsuit. They're not interested in protecting you. Of course, they'll politically say it. Of course, they'll go off and say whatever they want to say. And that's what the whole movie was about. Showing that these leeches didn't care. They gave them the same stonewall. It's a difficult problem. Really? Because, back then, you know what I saw? I saw children of other children who got to act like a fool. Because I can tell you this, I wouldn't have acted like that. And some of the things that just came out, they're getting it from somewhere. They're getting it from the parents, they're getting it from their brothers, they're getting it from the environment, they're getting it from somewhere. Now with these two bullies that roughed up that kid that made him have seizures, what do you tell that dad? You think it's okay these two kids have murder charges on them? Probably not. Doesn't accomplish anything. What about manslaughter? Accidental death? Yeah, more suitable. But here's the thing. They're not adults. And it was a bullying incident. So could you consider it a hate crime? Touch and go. Depends what the bullying was about. But if it was over sexual orientation, yes. If it wasn't, it was just someone was ugly, then no. So then what? You got these two kids who did this and caused this kid to die. For the rest of those lives, those two bullies, the blood of that kid is on their hands. No matter how much soap you use, it won't come off. It was your fault because that kid would be alive if you didn't do what you did. The only thing I could really think of is maybe send them to the armed forces for 8 years. Make them earn their citizenship back. You were good service in the community. Maybe you could do something for your country. I don't know. I don't know the right answer there. But I want you all to understand something, really, and that's what this whole movie talks about, is the administration is not there for you. So don't expect the administration to help you. You're almost better off going to the police, because they can do something. Administration can't. Now, the second thing, the bullies themselves are the victims. Let's talk about the victims. The victims, some of these are kind of extreme cases, but I saw two problems with this thing. I mentioned about the children and children acting like fools, but the victims' families. There was also a little lost training that was here, and that's what I kind of picked up the vibe on this family, is that, yeah, they were a nice, loving family, but they were afraid to teach them the reality of the world, and afraid to teach them that you need to defend yourself. But the father of Alex did touch on that. He said, look, your sister is going to go to this school. Nobody respects a punching bag, and if you don't start doing something, they're going to start doing the same thing to her. His dad was trying to be a man. I respect that. In 50s and 60s, even in some cases 70s and 80s, fathers would oftentimes, or uncles or whoever was else, would get boxing gloves on. And when a child becomes of age, in a way you could call this like Sparta, like Gulag, but what they would do is they would box them to the point to get them angry, to get them to hate. See, what it does is it gets them mad. It gets them beyond their thinking of crying. This never was done for me. I don't know why. I wish to hell it was done. But it gets to a point where it may seem cruel, but it's not. What you're doing is you're teaching. And what you're doing is you're constantly tapping them with the boxing glove. Keep tapping and tapping to the point the child gets tired of it. And then they start lashing back. And then what happens, they get to a point of anger where they just keep lashing back, and then you tell them, now you understand. They don't teach that anymore. They teach everyone's a winner. So then that's why we have videos like this, where you have one guy in the whole entire video, the 5 bullies, that said, it stopped when I stood up for myself. One guy. It stopped when I stood up for myself. Now my situation, it took forever for me to stand up for myself, but I felt like what it is it had to be a day in, day out thing, that I stood up for myself one time, and then I had to do it next week, the following day, then do a new person, and it just snowballed, snowballed, snowballed. This guy said basically I did it once and then it was over, and people left me alone. Now, it's not to be stupid about it, but like the problem is most of these kids today, they don't understand about chivalry. They don't understand about honor. All they understand is gang tactics, group fighting. One guy punches them, he gets retaliated on, and 8 other people join in. Rather than, hey, let them fight it. You know, honestly, oftentimes motorcycle clubs have more chivalry. When 2 rival members start, fighting, sometimes it'll just be between those 2. And they have to let it out, because if they interfere, it makes it worse. Let them fight it out, because it's between them. And when you get into a fight, which eventually I've lost my share, but when you get into a fight, you're going to win or you're going to lose, but you'll get the respect. And I'll tell you this, if you get into a fight and 4 of them jump you, 4 to 9 jump you, the rest of the student body will turn on them. Because nobody will respect them. Because it took 9 of them to do it. And that is the truth about defending yourself, and it's something that I still haven't learned. But here's the thing: if you see 9 of them and one of you alone, probably not wise to pick a fight on that, or don't pick a fight. Just kind of mosey away from them or something. But here's the thing: these are things you're going to encounter whether you go into the corporate world where you have groups of corporate managers. Now you can't punch them out, and believe me, there's a few I'd love to do that too, but you can't do that. You've got to like use your mouth and lingo and your skills to beat them, and that's just the corporate thing. And in the high school, you're oftentimes here. Now, here's the reality of the high school on that. When you're in high school and you do it, you're probably out of the 95 to 98% of people you know in high school, you're never going to talk to again. Or in middle school, you're never going to talk to again. You maybe talk to 2 or 3, maybe 4 if you're lucky. But majority of the people, never again. Because you don't care. They don't care about you. Why would you want to communicate with a bully? And you're only there 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day. You know what the funny thing about it is? You had the movie Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and the Roderick, the brother in the first one, was telling the Wimpy Kid on his first day to high school, don't go to the bathroom. Don't sit in the back row. Don't do this. Don't talk out of turn. Don't try to be the... And everybody say like, haha, he's like messing with him. He wasn't. He was being a brother. He was telling him all the things that he messed up on and trying to do him a favor. I wish I had a brother that had done that to me. It would have saved me a lot of headache. And that brings us to another point, that a lot of these victims brought it on themselves. Whether it be how they acted, their social graces. Alex even told this one high schooler, which I don't know why high schoolers were riding on the same bus as the middle schoolers. It was just dumb. I'm sure it was an economic reason. But he says, you're my buddy, okay? And the high schooler looks at him and is like, I'll kill you. I will slash you and cut you with a knife. And I was like, what the? Why are you threatening this poor middle? I mean, that makes you feel like a man? You're telling a middle schooler that's about a foot shorter than you that you're going to bring a knife to school and kill him? You're a coward. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And that's what these mentality is. And that's why you have to be cautious. But you know what? Here's the thing. These people that are making fun of you and all that, it doesn't matter. Because you're not going to see them again. They don't matter. They're not going to have any effect of your life. In every single relationship, girl, guy, you'll probably only keep 2 or 3 friends from the high school, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe none. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because beyond that, they're not going to change anything.